Okay folks, today we're going to talk to you about Fowlpox. All you need to know about Fowlpox from start to finish, from vaccinating, even the controversial methods that we have a lot of faith in. So stay tuned and we'll get this thing started. Now there's two types of Fowlpox, dry and wet. With the dry version, you'll notice your birds will break out in sores pretty quick, and they'll have lesions on the unfeathered part, and it can last anywhere from a week to 5 weeks. With the wet version, you'll have to open up their beaks and check down in. They'll have lesions down in their throat. It's a lot more severe, and it can kill a lot more of your birds. Now what I mean by lesions, guys, is spots like this right here that may have a secondary infection, or any irregular spot that shows up as a pimple or a scab like this. So with the toothpaste method, all we did was come out once a day and add just a little bit to the sores and the unfeathered area of the chicken, just not in its eyes. And we only did that once a day. We've been doing it for 2 days. So when we go to vaccinate the chickens and we check them and show you how to identify Fowlpox, then we'll check and see how the sores is doing since we've been putting this stuff on. Now the first bird we come to, you can tell, is one of our buffs, and just on the hinge of her beak, I'll put up an arrow for you and show you, is one of the first sores we put toothpaste on, and it was just barely hanging by one feather. It wasn't even attached to the skin, and you can see it fall off easily. So that's the effect of the toothpaste, and that's just after 2 days of application. And we'll explain a little bit more about that process a little later in the video. Right now we're going to show you how to check your birds for Fowlpox. So I want to start by apologizing. Our 6-year-old son Hendrix is recording. And this is the first time we've changed our editing settings to 21.9 in UHD. So what you want to do is you want to pick up your bird and you want to inspect the unfeathered part of the chicken. You want to look all around its face, around its beak, on the cone area, and look for any kind of lesions or broken skin or scabs. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to open up the beak and you want to check down inside the throat area and look for the same thing. It'll be more lesions. May not be scabby, but you'll definitely be able to tell. Now, not all these birds are showing signs of Fowlpox on the outside, which is why we also look down inside the throat area to see if they have the other version of wet, which is much more severe. Also, guys, make sure you quarantine your birds that look like this and do not vaccinate them. Use the toothpaste. So our vaccine just came in. We're going to go ahead and drop it down on the table, open it up, and show you guys the contents and how you're supposed to mix it. Okay guys, here's our vaccine box. We're going to go ahead and open it up and show you what's inside. The first thing that you're going to see that we pull out here is a ice pack, and it's wrapped in paper. And we want to show you guys this just so you don't waste your time opening all these up. They're all, everything in paper bags is just an ice pack, and you definitely don't want to reuse these, so just stick them back in the box. Another thing, guys, is you might want to set yourself up a nice little fire, and I'll explain why a little later in the video. Actually, the one thing you're looking for inside the box is the clear bubble wrap. So just go ahead and open up your box when you see it. Grab it out, open it up. It's going to be taped together. It'll be a little hard to get into. All that is to help keep everything cold. That's the number one thing here. It's got to stay cold to work, and they do a good job of that. So you're going to have some instructions inside that plastic bag. From start to finish, it's really good and detailed. You need to read it. It'll even tell you how long the vaccine will last. After you activate it, you're going to get a blue bottle. It's a diluent and it has marking dye in it. You're also going to have the live virus bottle, and it'll have some dry powdery looking cotton stuff in it. And last but not least, you're going to have what, lack of a better word, I don't know what you call it, an applicator. This is what you call an applicator. It's a 2-prong needle, and it also has inkwells on the other side to hold in the vaccine. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to mix it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the blue bottle and we're going to try to get it open. And of course, everything that you get in the mail is hard to open. So anyway, improvise here. I get this thing open, and you want to take the metal rings off of it. And under that metal ring is a cap, and it's rubber. I just popped my gloves, so you guys give me a second, and I see the hole here. I'll go ahead and change my gloves, and then we'll get back to popping this bottle open. So now that I got a new pair of gloves, as I was saying, you pop this rubber seal, and you're going to take the other vaccine, open it up, and you're going to take half of the blue and pour it into the vaccine bottle. And you can tell which ones have, because both bottles have a line of color, and that line of color separates the bottle perfectly in half. So just go ahead and take that stuff, pour it into that empty bottle that has the cotton looking stuff in it that says live virus. Shake it up. Now when you shake it up, the diluent is going to have all that stuff in there mixed up really good. You're not going to see any more white stuff, whatever it is. It's just going to be liquid. So then you're going to take that liquid, pour it back in the diluting bottle with the other half of the stuff that was remaining. Take that rubber cap, you want to pop it back on. You want to mix it all up. And then once you mix it up, that vaccine is active and ready to go. So let's go out to our run, and we'll grab a chicken, and we'll go ahead and start plucking some down feathers from the web right in the bend of the shoulder. Here's our open spot where we pluck some of the down. It's really easy to do, guys. You can even rub it with your thumb. Here's those inkwells I was talking about earlier. All you got to do is dip those down in a live virus bottle, and you bring it back out. It's going to have 2 blue inkwells. You can see it's full there. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is hold that chicken wing still, give it a good poke all the way through, pull it out, and you're done. So while we get Hendrix to climb up in the chicken tractor and get the rest of the birds, I'm going to let Bobby tell you why I wanted you to build that fire.
One more thing, guys, and it's super important. Once you're done with the vaccine and you're no longer going to need it, you need to put it in the fire and burn that and every piece of content that you used when you were handling it and everything that came with it. So that extra diluent bottle or the live virus bottle, all of that needs to go inside the fire and burned, because it is a live virus. And if it gets anywhere on your property, it can also spread to some of your birds.
Okay, guys, just a few more important notes. First off, you can get your vaccine at anywhere like a Mary McMurray hatchery. You can also get them from your vet if you have a local vet you talk to. Most vets don't like messing with chickens. The vaccine itself costed us about 15 bucks. Costed a lot more for shipping, it's like 25 bucks. But that's everywhere you go. A lot of people is going to say that the vaccine slows down egg production, and it does, but the virus itself is way more devastating than egg production. You don't really have to vaccine unless you come in contact with or you have a problem on your homestead. And if you don't vaccinate, then this virus can last up to 5 weeks on each bird. You times that by how many birds you got, it can last for a long time. So it's best just to choose to go ahead and vaccinate. Now you're also going to read a lot of people giving secondary antibiotics just in case of an infection. And if you want to do that, that's fine. Especially if your birds are younger and hadn't had any other health problems. That may be good for you, but for us, we're not going to do that, because chickens grow an immunity to antibiotics much faster than we do. And we want to ensure if our chickens do run into a problem, our antibiotics that we do give them is going to work. So the only antibiotics we're going to administer in this problem is the one you've seen previously in the picture on Noob's face. They got a little bit infected from one of the chickens pecking on it once they seen the sore arise. Then when you get your vaccine, guys, it's going to be super cold. You have up to 2 days to use it. Also, after you vaccinated your birds, we're going to do 5-day post check. We're going to look under that web. The marking die is there to help you to locate the 2 prong holes where you vaccinated before and be able to check for a scab over. If both of those holes that are marked blue that you find is scabbed over, that means the vaccine did a take, which means your bird's vaccinated. And 3 days later, here we are. Everything's already getting better, but it's been tiresome. What we like to do here is we know that when chicks are hatched, from our moms here that's had the vaccination, it is passive somewhat. It's not a total protection. We like to wait till anywhere over 10 weeks before we do vaccination. That way it's a permanent set. But vaccinations before that, in earlier age birds, you're going to have to do it again anyway, because it's not really so much a permanent protection. So hope this video helps, guys, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.